I am 80 years old, and the hardest lesson I learned came too late. No one warned me that life doesn't end with one big mistake. It ends quietly, with many small regrets you thought didn't matter. If you're young and confused, please listen to me for a few minutes. My name doesn't matter anymore. What matters is time. I've lived through love and loss, success and failure, crowded rooms, and deep loneliness. I've buried friends. I've watched my parents grow old and disappear. And now, I look at my hands and see a lifetime written in wrinkles. In the next few minutes, I'll share 10 lessons that no school ever taught me. Lessons that cost me decades to learn, but may save you years of pain. Life story setup. When I was young, I truly believed life would be fair to me. I believed that if I worked hard, everything would fall into place on its own. I imagined my future clearly. A good job, a happy family, peaceful life. I thought happiness was something waiting for me somewhere ahead. 20. My heart was full of dreams. I wanted to be someone important. I wanted people to respect me. I wanted to prove that my life mattered. I stayed up late thinking about success, imagining a future where everything made sense. I thought time was slow, endless. I believed tomorrow would always come. I told myself I would travel later. I would rest later. I would love deeper later. I would become brave later. But later became a habit. In my youth, I was always running. Running after money. Running after approval. Running after a version of success that everyone else seemed to admire. I rarely stopped to ask myself if I was truly happy. I ignored small moments because they looked unimportant. Quiet mornings. Long conversations. Simple laughter. I thought real life was waiting for me somewhere bigger. I didn't know then that life doesn't arrive all at once. Comes slowly, quietly, in ordinary days we barely notice. Years passed without asking permission. One day, I looked in the mirror and saw a stranger. My dreams had changed, but my regrets had grown. If I had known how fast time moves, I would have lived more slowly. I would have listened more. I would have been kinder to myself. Youth feels endless, until it isn't. Mistakes I made. The biggest mistakes in my life did not happen in one loud moment. They happened quietly, every day. My first mistake was believing I had unlimited time. I postponed important things. I delayed happiness. I told myself I would fix everything one day. I didn't realize that one day slowly turns into never. Time didn't wait for me to feel ready. My second mistake was choosing work over people. I missed moments that never came back. Dinners that grew cold. Conversations that ended too soon. I thought success would make it all worth it. But success never hugged me when I felt empty. People do. My third mistake was staying where I was no longer respected. I remained in jobs that drained my energy and relationships that hurt my self-worth. I was afraid of change. I was afraid of being alone. I didn't understand that staying in the wrong place costs more than leaving. My fourth mistake was ignoring my body. I slept too little. I worried too much. I treated stress like a normal part of life. I didn't listen when my body whispered warnings. I only listened when it started to scream. My fifth mistake was caring too much about opinions. I shaped my life to fit expectations that were never mine. I chased approval from people who barely noticed. I lost pieces of myself trying to be accepted. And maybe the deepest mistake of all, I assumed people would always be there. I thought love was permanent. I thought friendships were unbreakable. I didn't say thank you enough. I didn't say I love you often enough. People leave. Sometimes slowly. Sometimes suddenly. Now, at 80, I understand this truth. Mistakes are not just wrong choices. They are missed chances to live honestly. And the most painful regret is knowing you knew better, but waited too long. What I achieved. Not everything in my life was a mistake. There were quiet victories, the kind no one applauds. I learned how to stand up after failing, without asking the world to notice. I learned that strength is not loud. Sometimes it is simply waking up and trying again. I achieved survival during times when giving up felt easier. There were years when life felt heavy, when hope felt distant, when my dreams seemed smaller than my fears. But I kept going. That alone became an achievement. I built a life from very little, not just with money, but with patience, with effort, with hands that grew tired but did not stop working. I discovered that progress is slow, and real success often looks boring from the outside. I learned responsibility. I learned how to show up even when I was afraid, even when I was unsure. I learned that being dependable is a rare and powerful quality. I helped people when I could, sometimes with money, sometimes with time, sometimes just by listening. I never became famous for it, but those moments stayed with me longer than any reward. I also learned humility. I learned that I don't always have to be right, that apologizing does not make you weak, that admitting mistakes can bring peace you didn't know you needed. Perhaps my greatest achievement was understanding this too late, but still understanding it. I learned that life is not about winning. It is about becoming calmer,
Becoming kinder.
becoming honest with yourself. At 80, I don't measure my life by what I owned. I measure it by who I became when no one was watching. And that is something no one can take away. Deep life lessons. Life didn't teach me gently, taught me through loss, through waiting, through silence. These are the lessons that stayed with me when everything else faded. The first lesson is about time. Time is not kind. It doesn't slow down when you're confused. It doesn't stop when you're scared. I learned too late that time is life's real currency. Spend it without thought, and you'll wake up poor. Money returns. Time never does. The second lesson is about love. Love must be spoken. Love must be shown. Love must be lived out loud. I kept love inside, thinking people already knew. They didn't. When people leave, they take your silence with them. Unexpressed love becomes lifelong regret. The third lesson is about success. Success without peace is a quiet failure. I reached goals that looked good to others, but felt empty to me. If your heart is tired, you are not successful. You are just busy. Peace is the real promotion. The fourth lesson is about people. Most people in your life are not permanent. Some are lessons. Some are seasons. I learned not to beg for presents. Those who want to stay, stay. Don't chase people. Choose yourself. The fifth lesson is about purpose. Purpose is not found in one big moment. It is built in small choices made every day. How you treat people. How you speak to yourself. How you spend your mornings. That is your legacy. Your daily habits decide your final story. Now, at 80, I understand something simple. Life is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be present. Because one day, all you'll wish for is one more ordinary day. Message to younger viewers. If you are young and listening to me right now, please pause for a moment. I'm not speaking as someone who figured life out early. I'm speaking as someone who learned slowly and paid for it with years. You don't need to rush your life, but you also shouldn't drift through it. Waiting too long can be just as dangerous as moving too fast. You don't have to impress anyone. Most of the people you're trying to impress won't be there in the end. Choose peace over proving yourself. Choose growth over comfort. Please take care of your body. Carries you through every dream you have. Ignore it now, and it will remind you later. Call your parents while you still can. Listen to their stories. One day, their voices will live only in your memory. If you're in a place that drains your spirit, a job, a relationship, a routine, be brave enough to leave. Staying too long in the wrong place slowly changes who you are. Say what you feel. Don't save love for later. Don't assume people know your heart. Life doesn't reward silence. It rewards honesty. You will make mistakes. That's not the problem. The problem is repeating them because you were afraid to change. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to move forward with truth. One honest step is better than years of pretending. If my voice could reach you across time, I would say this softly: live in a way that your older self will thank you for. Because one day, you will look back, and I hope you smile more than you regret. Now at 80, life feels different. The world is quieter. Days pass gently, and memories speak louder than people. I sit with my thoughts more than my plans. I measure time in sunsets, not years. I don't fear the end. What I fear is the life I almost lived. There are moments I replay in silence. Things I should have said. Chances I should have taken. Love I should have shown more clearly. Time does not announce when it is leaving. It just slowly pulls away, until one day you realize how much is already gone. If you are young and listening to this, please understand something important. Your life is not waiting for you. It is happening right now. Every ordinary day you rush through is a day you will one day wish you could return to. One more morning, one more conversation, one more chance to do it better. When everything slows down at the end, you don't remember your titles. You remember faces, voices, moments where your heart felt full. So live in a way that leaves you with peace. Not a loud life, a true one. If my words stay with you tonight, let them sit quietly in your heart. And when you wake up tomorrow, live just a little more awake. Because one day, you'll sit in the silence too. And I hope when that day comes, you'll have fewer regrets and more memories worth keeping. If this story touched your heart, write "I will live better" in the comments. And if someone you love is lost in life, share this with them. Time is listening.